Hello everyone, this is Starscream0625, and today I'll be bringing you a video review of the Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Snarl. So here we have Snarl in his Stegosaurus mode, in a very, very green Stegosaurus mode. Just a lot of green and not much in the way of other colors. You do have some gray here on the neck and on the legs. You have some black here on his hind legs. It's a lot of green. You have a translucent green up here for the fins. You have some solid green here. Then you have some metallic green on some of the clear bits right here as part of the tail. So it is very variety. It's not all one color of green, which is nice, but a lot of green, as I was saying. For portability in this mode, Snarl has a decent amount. He can open his jaw. Let's see, get my thumb in there. Open his jaw that far. Get the pin there. You can move that far down, that far up, and then there's a joint here at his neck. So we can look that far down and that far up. I will say that I know that the car version has trouble with this neck staying up here because of a flashing problem. But this is the Hasbro version and the neck stays up just fine. You have a ball joint here for the front legs. Then you have a ratcheted pin here. I also know that the car version that is just a ratchet and not a pin, and the legs like to fall off. In this case, the legs do not fall off. For this joint up here, for the hind legs, you have nothing at where the thigh would be that's locked in. You could bring it out, but I don't recommend doing that. You have below the thigh swivel here. Then you have a knee joint that's limited by the spikes protruding from the Stegosaurus tail. And then you do have, I guess you can pivot the back of his foot, which is be his hand in robot mode. And his tail is completely inanimate. He disguises his look pretty well. I mean, he looks like a Stegosaurus to me. But for all the green. Not a lot of kibble to speak of. You can't see his head. You kind of see the bottom of his feet there, but it integrates well onto the bottom of the Stegosaurus mode. You can tell there's hands here, and you can maybe tell as part of his chest with the purple. But other than that, he integrates very well with his beast mode, and I like it a lot. It's quite large. For comparison, here he is next to Scorn. Bring the camera back a bit. So you can see from the tips of their tail, Scorn is longer, but Snarl is much wider. And here he is next to the only other four-legged Dinobot, unless you display Swoop on four legs, like a bat. You can see that in this case, from tail to tail, Snarl is longer. You see comparison there. Slug was, or Slag was small to begin with, but I think that even with his robot mode, he could pass as a small Voyager. But that's just my opinion. So, to transform Snarl here, first, you want to come back here to the tail. And you're going to split the tail in two, and on these hinges here, bring the tail bits forward, like so. Then you're going to take this piece here and detach it, and set it off to the side for now. It'll become part of his weapon. And speaking of which, I need to get the other part of his weapon and show you how it attaches. I apologize. I don't display him with it. I don't want to break the clear plastic. Here we are. Looks like this. and you fold it inwards, and there's a tab right here that will plug in right up here to form another fin, like so. To me, it looks kind of ridiculous. Maybe I'm not even doing it right. I don't care enough to try to get it right. So that's that. Fold this form up and now. So you gotta fold this back apart. Take a spiked Stegosaurus tail, and you gotta take a 5mm post here, and you gotta bring it up through this hole here, like so. And there you got his axe. Set that up to the side. Alright, now you split his tail. Then you're gonna bring this entire assembly, this fin assembly, backwards like so, and leave it off to the sides. Then you're going to come down here and take this entire front assembly, the entire front half of the Stegosaurus mode, and you're going to detach it. Like so. There's tabs here, taking some slots up here underneath what will become his chest. And then you're going to extend his legs and bring them down. Then you're going to split them. They don't split with the Stegosaurus head. The head goes to the left leg. And there's a fake, focus the camera, oop, can't tip it over, fake head right here. It's sculpted nicely, but it doesn't have any articulation, it's not painted. There we go, bring the legs down. Then you're going to bring these legs up and just keep them off of the sides, like so. Bring the legs up, off the sides, like so. Then you can bring the Stegosaurus head here on this hinge. You're going to bring it up and into the leg, like so. It only go that flush in, so kind of protrudes a little bit, but doesn't hinder articulation at all. Come down here to his feet, and you're going to bring them down on this hinge, and it'll clear this tab here that'll lock the foot into place, like so. I get it. Take off the camera for a minute. I'll do it with the other one. I want to make sure I do this right. Yeah, you'll bring it forward, and it'll peg in to part of the foot assembly. Do it with the other one here. It's hard to show on camera, but you have a slot here, and the tab will peg into this back slot. It's back here. Just a moment. Can't seem to get it. Oh, you get the picture, so I'll just do it off camera. Okay. Despite the fact that he has no heels, his feet are very, very stable, which is nice. Just straighten his legs out. And you're going to bring this waist piece here, and you're going to bring it backwards, up into his chest. Now, I can't seem to get it to peg in, but it's supposed to peg in. Theoretically, this plastic here should be soft enough or pliable enough to pry itself apart when I bring this post up into it. But it won't do that for me, so I just rest it like so. The tolerance might be better on some than others. It's standing crooked right now. I don't know why he's doing that. Okay. That's better. Now you're going to take the entire arm assembly, and you're going to bring it up on this whole assembly here, like so. Gotta raise the camera up now. I can't seem to get all this on film. Alright. So you brought this assembly up. Now you're going to take the shorter piece here, and you're going to, in conjunction with the Stegosaurus tail bit, bring it down so that this tab here can peg into that slot right there, and lock the Stegosaurus tail bit in place. Like so. Kind of form the equivalent of car door wings, excuse me. Bring this side up, like so. Same thing over here. Bring this assembly down. Peg it in. May have to rotate it a little bit more in order to get it to tap it. It just depends on the location of both the parts. You're going to bring this down more, and then you're going to take the head and you're just going to fish it out. And it has some fins in there, so you can easily fish it out. It's harder to get back in, to be honest. It does come up on a panel, and perhaps this panel could clear this collar piece here, but I don't want to risk breaking it trying to get it back down. I've already done that with Vault After and Brawl. It's kind of the same head reveal. See, I'm going to get in the stand. There we go. That's still kind of crooked. I don't understand why that is. Okay, that's good enough. Then you're going to rotate below the shoulder and rotate his hand like so. Rotate here beneath the shoulder, then rotate his wrist like so. And then, according to the instructions, you're supposed to come back here to this fin assembly and split it like so, and bring it out like so. Now, it looks cool from behind, and sure, it looks cool from the front. I just get nervous about the tolerance of the clear plastic, and it does limit its posability like that. So, for posability's sake, I'm going to bring these pieces back in, and I think he looks just fine with them brought in. No, they don't want to tap together again. This is what scares me about this figure, all the clear plastic. There we go. Sorry I had to be off camera. Alright, so yes, there we have Snarl in his robot mode. Now, some people have said that he doesn't really follow the whole night aesthetic. I think he does. But his head lacks that night look. What's zooming on his head? It's very alien. It might be other alien robots, but it's very different than the others. Can I focus? Well, the camera doesn't want to focus very well right now, but he has purple eyes there beneath his... There it is, red eyes beneath his ridges. And then he has kind of like a grin kind of faceplate underneath, and it looks kind of goofy and not very night-like. It's not a bad sculpt by any means, but it doesn't make me think Transformer. Now, you can see, looks like he has gorilla arms. That can be negated, however. You can rotate these under 90 degrees, and then rotate the hand down, and technically now you have a proper elbow and hand assembly. Same thing over here. And then rotate the hand at the wrist. But now you have these visible gaps, and nobody holds their hands like that, because nobody can. Aside from that, I do like that look better, and it does give him proper elbows. Although it leaves out that black that you were able to see on the Beast mode. Now, he usually likes to stand very well, but his legs are kind of goofy, and they are a little bit asymmetrical. Everyone wants to say that I maybe transformed them wrong. I'm not sure what I would have done. Definitely. He's really cool, but he's really fidgety. He has a lot of different parts, and some of those parts are a little bit looser on my figure than I'd like them to be. Alright, so for this weapon. Again, this is axe here. There's this translucent green blade. And then the Stegosaurus spiked tail hilt. No, that's not a hilt, that's for a sword. I don't know what you want to call it. You want to call it a handle. And you have this area down here. And you'll peg that into his hand. Nope, that's not right. That's too loose. So you can peg it in there, but it'll flop around. It's very hard to get into his hand. His hands aren't very pliable. What you want to do is slide it so that it sits down right above the Stegosaurus spiked tail area. And there you have his axe. And it looks really cool to me. Looks a little bit goofy because his hand is basically straight up. But it's not a bad weapon, and it actually turned out better than I thought it would. After posability in this mode, his head is on a ball joint. And it's also on this panel here. So you can look that much down if you're using the panel. That much up. And do a full... No, it cannot do a full 360 because he has like a mullet here. Which limits left and right motion. He has, I want to say, a universal joint here at the shoulder, which can do a full 360, like so. You have rotation here at the bicep. Then you have elbow joint that can do about 90 degrees, depending on whether or not he has the axe in his hand. And he has a wrist articulation, as you've seen. He has no waist articulation. He has a ball jointed hips. He has a thigh swivel, and he has pinned knees, which can do about 90 degrees, like so. So he is. I mean, he can strike some poses, but he's fidgety to the point sometimes that it gets annoying. There we are. He's a very good looking figure. For size comparison, here he is next to the Fall Cybertron Optimus Prime. You can see that even when his knees are bent in almost 90-degree positions, he is taller than a Deluxe. But because he has all that thin stuff on his back and on his shoulders, but he is large. Again, I think he could be a small Voyager. And here it is next to Fall Cybertron Jazz, which is a little bit taller. And I think it's even taller than Prime, which is weird. And for all of you that collect those kind of figures, here he is next to some 3 3/4 scale figures, like Mr. Freeze and Red Skull. So, do I recommend this figure? Yes. His robot mode could be better. I think it is lacking, but he probably has my favorite Dinobot beast mode of all the Extinction Dinobots thus far. The only one that I have yet to get is Sludge, and once I review him, I'll give a group shot. So recommend him, but with reservations depending on how much you like the robot mode. I personally got him because I was a completist as far as Dinobots go, but I was pleasantly surprised on how good he is in comparison to what the original stock photography showed us. So this has been the video review for the Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Snarl. This has been Snarl from 65. Thank you very much for watching, and do take care.